To do anything well, you need to focus on it, meaning you need to eliminate alternatives to that one thing you're doing. And it might seem that you're not going to be able to have success, you might leave money on the table, but you're wasting your time by just doing that one thing. But what you'll find is by focusing on that one thing has so many more things involved in it that it then takes up the time, and we'll start to see how impossible it would have been for you to try to do everything else at the same time. Hello, if you have not met me, that's what I'm going to discuss in today's video. There's the hook. If this is the first time we're meeting, hi. My name is Duncan Alderdice. In these videos, I take short walks in the morning. I take walks in the morning and talk through the thoughts I'm having as I try to put my life back together again in one take. Consistent theme that we're going to be talking about because it's relevant to me is focus. Context is I'm trying to put my life together. There's a bunch of different things that actually are involved in that. One of the things I was kind of battling is like, do I go for get a job? Do I make these videos? Do I start a business, online business, like in some sort of AI automation was the thing I picked in order to get that income and that I'm needing. And recently, about a couple of weeks ago, recently I just got accepted for a job or an offer. But I made the decision to eliminate the AI automation thing. And the reason is because these videos I also was enjoying, and I had like the thought in the peripheral of like, I want to do both, but at the point where I'm at right now, I don't have the time to afford to do both. So I just have to do one. And so I eliminated the AI automation one. And what I've found recently with these things is there is a lot of things to think through. So what you might have noticed if you haven't watched before is just at the beginning when I introduce myself, it said in one take. And that's kind of an epiphany I had yesterday. Because one of the things that I'm really trying to think through is determine what is the hook, what is the series promise, what is the stakes. Because saying I am just trying to put my life together is accurate, but it's not necessarily, there's a fly on the thing, it's not necessarily compelling unless I'm already a person that people are aware of, and I'm not. But then I don't really have necessarily like a goal. Like I've seen other people who say like, okay, well, I'm going to be following Alex Hormozi's advice until I hit 10K or 100K MRR. And it's like, okay, well, there's the hook is the point of interest of Alex Hormozi. If you're aware of who that guy is, then, okay, well, you've seen his content. This guy's following it. And then until they hit 10K or MRR, he's like, that's the condition for failure. That is what is compelling in the story. Whereas the thing that I keep thinking through is I don't know what the story I want to be saying is, or in a very specific way with that. And so kind of the point with this series is that you don't need a perfect plan to find your plan. You just need to need a direction and to start moving in that, and you'll find your path from that. Like it's like you don't find your way, you let your way find you. A bunch of different profound ways of expressing that. But the thing that I've kind of discovered is yesterday there was a guy talking about how to speak better on camera and how it was just like a one take sort of thing. And as soon as he said doing it in one take, there was something in me that I went going like, ooh, no, I like that. Like that's different. And then it hit me of going, okay, well, are those the actual stakes that make it a bit more compelling for someone to watch, that rather than expressing it directly, that these thoughts that I have on the topic are not scripted and they're not edited out. It's not a polished version. And so that is going to be, for some people, not interesting or not what they're looking for, but for other people, the exact thing that they're looking for. And so doing a better job of communicating what it is that I'm doing is a step, but then it also creates that hook in terms of the conditions for failure and the stakes of it's like, if it's one take, that means every pause, every uncertainty, every time the wind might come into the play, like that's going to interrupt the train of thought. And they want to, the person who would be interested in that wants to witness that. And so it's kind of and so after I had that, because normally what I do a lot when I have a good idea is then I just verbally dump all of the ideas, all of the things that are coming to mind with that thought into AI. Right now is Gemini, because Gemini's cooked up with Google, so then it's advice on whether or not YouTube ideas make sense is more grounded in reality. And by reality, I mean something other than just internet research, because Google is the same company as YouTube, whatever. Squirrel agrees. And it spit back to me essentially what I was saying and circulating, but just more clearly. And sometimes that feels good, it feels great. And then other times, okay, I see a guy on a bike, and so I'm just gonna stop. 1 second. Guy on the bike is gone. I've lost the train of thought, but I'm also thinking that it's technically not one take now because there's a bit of an edit. But did you really want to watch the 45 seconds of just the ground of me not talking? No, you didn't. But I guess that's kind of part of the appeal. I just that the environment is there. It's not editing out. It's just removing you still see the time stamp. What was I talking about? Fuck. That's so annoying. Because like from your end, it was 2 seconds, but from my end, it was the 40. So talk about YouTube and Gemini and how it went. And what was great is because it was saying back to me what it is that I had already been saying. And so that was validating. But one take is a useful stakes hook, because also the point of the series is it is not polished takes that you're getting. And it is not a polished human that you're getting. Like, you are getting, to some degree, some authentic, raw perspective on a guy who's trying to do better than where he is. Like, that's the story. And so in that the same sense, the point of me doing this, and that I'm recognizing even for myself, is the thing that comes to mind is going, oh, you're building the YouTube channel, like that's top of mind. But there's a deeper thing that's more foundational that is a result of, is building a daily habit that allows you to more effectively make progress towards that goal of getting my life together, kind of thing. And so, by adding on the stakes of the one take, this act itself is me practicing publicly the skill of having a topic of mind and speaking on that, quote, like, for the most part off the cuff, like unscripted at least. And so if I do that 1,000 times, I'm probably gonna get better. And then it's even more compelling if at the point, like the point of the one takeness is less about the stakes and more about this. This is the point of me making this, is this exercise. The point of me making these videos is to help me become the person that I am. it allows me to. It's still too theoretical and abstract. Like, it sounds cool. Like it itself is a practice of my own self-development. That's what it is. And at the end of it, like it is, you are going to, if interested, witness someone become better at this particular skill. And then I think, yeah, because also the long-term thing is like, okay, well, if I have some vision of always to like do some sort of Tony Robbins adjacent type thing. Like that's like appealing to me. Like just like host some sort of event where I help people improve themselves to some degree. Like that's very vague or whatever. But like one thing is like, well, what is this that I'm doing right now? Like these are the receipts. Like it's in the future. I'm like, hey, you should improve your life. Yes, you can. Do it. Go. And then the person's like, why should I listen to you? And I'm like, well, look at all of the videos of me doing it myself. Like it is possible. Yes, you can. Like that's why you should listen to me, because it's not like I can relate to you. Probably there's a lot of things about people who are in worse positions. So there's things about my life that put in immediate obstacles to an immediate ability to relate. But I guess if the emotional or intellectual connection of witnessing and hearing someone's own private thoughts, because I guess these are somewhat private in that not everyone talks about the things that I'm talking about to the degree that they share them. But that allows a connection to kind of form, and therefore trust, and therefore when I'm like, hey, believe in yourself, then they're like, okay. Okay, now we're back to the main topic, which is focus. All of this epiphanies and fun stuff is encouraging because I feel like I'm actually making progress, incremental progress, slight progress, but it's that 2 millimeter difference. Just you stack up a bunch of 2 millimeter differences, you're going to go at least 2 meters. And if you know how to do 2 meters, you can go 2 more meters. Or, okay, getting lost in the analogy. At the beginning, I had a lot of the videos where I'm trying to figure out what is the shape of this. And in doing it and actually sticking with it and focusing my time and energy when I wasn't just recording this on it, I've been able to get to this point where I have more stronger idea of the shape of what this is taking and what value it is providing. And adding those creative constraints of like, if it is one take, if it is a daily practice, if it is in the morning, if it, whatever it is, then I can learn how to get good at that particular thing. Because rather than switching and going like, oh no, I should make a once a week video, make them really edited, maybe I should just have it sort of scripted. Each one of those activities you can have success in, so long as you stick with them and actually work through develop the skills of getting good at that thing with those constraints. Again, with the focus is that picking one and sticking with it, starting and continuing is the first move and the foundational move. And in the absence of it, you are going to be able to become better at than. Here's the problem I need to solve is how do I get my mouth stopped to be so fucking dry in the morning? You're going to be better than most people just by starting to do it a bit, but you're not going to get that remaining 5% to really be the best unless you do so. And so, more I'm just having a realization or an articulation. Self-aggrandization? No, that just rhymes, but I don't think it's the same thing. Of the impact of eliminating alternatives and the doors that opens up. Because yesterday I spent like so long trying to create a prompt in order for me to be able to articulate my thoughts in a way that is cleaned up so that the AI better understands it, but doesn't eliminate things so that it preserves my voice and thought, which turns out to be a lot harder than you think, or at least more time consuming. This is kind of in service of like if I can record a video and then take that audio file, put it in so that it just pumps out the publishing package with the YouTube description and everything, title suggestions, and the voice transcript so I can put that into another collab project and just kind of discuss things. All of that takes time. And all of those steps are like necessary slight improvements to doing this one thing of the video if I want to make it a sustainable practice for the long term. Because it seemed like there's a lot of things that, like, in order to make this a sustainable daily practice, I need to build systems in place or make the things that are involved with it repeatable to the degree that whatever's thrown at them of my ordinary life, it is able to kind of withstand those blows. Like the cannonballs of ordinary life hitting it, bang, does the structure completely collapse or it's able to persist? Building that structure isn't possible unless you spend the time and energy. Stream, you still can't see it, but you can hear it. isn't possible with that time and energy unless you eliminate the other things you would be working on in your other spare time. Again, just another act of what focus involves and what you can get from that. And I think I'm going to try to do, and I might be not, but because people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught is a fact, and that includes yourself. When I'm talking to myself out here is, I think I'm going to make Fridays a focus theme day, like Focus Friday. There's a car coming, so 1 second. Fridays are going to be a focus themed day because I'm trying to think of what are the things, the recurring themes. Why does someone tune into me talk? Yes, there's a story, but there's got to be something for them. And it might be, like if I'm, one of the things is I'm the focus guy. And I don't know, I'm trying on this identity. You don't know what you are until you try doing a bunch of things and see what you like doing, see what works. And this is me trying shit. This is me throwing shit at the wall. I don't know if it's going to stick. It might not. Who gives a puck at this point? Okay, John Candy. Matt Damon. In any case, appreciate you watching to the end. And I know you know this already, but I'll say it again, is that desire is what drives you forward. The pain you're going through is necessary. That is why you need to believe in yourself, because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. Lean in, aim up, and move forward. Yes, you can. Yes, you will. Where's that fucking horse fly?